I'm going to go ahead and build your first report for you for the address that you requested. As you can see up here, we're now in the basic account. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on build this report. I am going to type in the address that you guys requested here. So we're at 2610 Fondren Road. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to drop in Fondren Road. There it is. That's the name of the location. We're going to go ahead and select this, and that is what we're going to do right now. We're not going to have a compare right now, but you can compare up to, I think, 4 additional locations. I'm also going to go ahead and change the name here to the 2610 Fondren Road. Next, I'm going to click on trade areas. And you requested a, I believe, a 6-mile ring or 5-mile radius. So let's go ahead and add a 5-mile radius. I also like doing a drive time is also very effective, I think. So I like to also add a 10-minute drive time. Let's see how that adds additional. Oh, so we see the 10-minute drive times in there as well. So maybe we'll go ahead and we'll remove that. But why don't we also do a 10-mile ring just to add some additional clarity? And there's the 5 and then the 10-mile ring. I went ahead and refreshed that. Let's go ahead and refresh that just so that the 5-minute drive time is not in there, or the 10-minute drive time, and then I'm going to add that back. Okay, so now we have 2 rings. I'm again going to go ahead and change the name of the report. I'm going to click on next, run this report. So it's going to take a second here, and we don't necessarily have any data in it yet, but it's at least dropping the pin at that address, and it's preparing the system to start pulling data around it. All right, so here's just some instructions. I'm going to go ahead and delete that off. And yes, I want to delete that. And now I'm going to start dropping in some data sets that I think might be interesting and relevant. I'm going to go ahead and just close that box. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go into residents, and I'm going to do residential population over time. I know that this was important for you guys. So I'm going to click on just add, and you can see it drops in the 5 and 10-mile radius as needed. So I'm going to click check. So now it's going to drop in those population sets. Now you can view this a couple different ways. You can do this either as a trend line or as a trend line with values relative to land area is another way that you can do it. You can do a table and then just viewing the trade area map. I'm going to also add ethnicity. I think is going to be interesting for you folks. I think generations is going to be a pretty cool data set as well. So I'm going to drop in generations. So now you can see just as the percentage of population, how's the breakdown, but I like doing the bar chart, what actually shows the actual counts. Let's click on show more here. Let's go ahead and click on educational achievement. I think would be interesting. Let's also add breakdown of gender so we can see male versus female. How about we also add household income? Let's go ahead and add household income. And maybe household size to get a sense of how big the house is. Maybe total households so you can get a sense of how many houses in the area. And then I think on accessibility and movement, let's go ahead and grab a traffic count from this location. So we're going to grab that street. We're going to click save. So it's going to pull the count for this Fondren Road. Give it a second to grab all of that data and break it down by time of day and day of week. So there you have it, by time of day and day of week. And then why don't we also add a traffic count for the other street as well here, just to get a sense for both ways. That looks like that's a highway, so we're going to click on that. Awesome. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab, let's see where people are coming from. Now you can get a sense of where people are coming from in terms of where do they live, so the origin. So let's go ahead and grab that. Sometimes you need to extend where people are coming from to greater than 100 meters. But anyway, you can see the density right here of where people are coming from that hit that location. And let's also grab travel time. So for people that hit that address or that location, what's their average travel time? So you can see the mean travel time. Let's go to housing ownership just to see the breakdown of renters versus owners. Because you have the basic subscription, we don't have access to some of our additional mobile device data, but that's fine for now. Let's go ahead and pull total employee count in that area. So these are people that are in the area that are working by day. So you can get a sense of that. Let's see what else might be interesting. Let's look at weekly spending per capita. So why don't we come in here and look at people that are spending money. Do we have fitness or sports, recreation, and exercise equipment? Looks like there's two things here, so let's grab them both. So people that are spending money on athletic gear, exercise, maybe anything on gym, or people maybe that are buying, how about people that are doing, maybe people that are, I don't know, spending a lot of money on vegetables. I don't know, but for now, let's just do that so we can get a sense of within the area how many people are spending money on fitness equipment. Now, this gets really interesting when you start looking at comparing locations side by side. So if you have for instance, if you're comparing site A versus site B, and you can get a sense of who's spending more money or less money. The context, I think, is really important when you start looking at that stuff. And then I'm also going to look at search engine demand. So this data set is really interesting. It's unique to us, but we're essentially looking at people searching into Google, whether it's a website browser from a desktop or a mobile device or whatever it might be, people that are looking for related products or services to what it is that you folks sell. So what we might find interesting is people that are looking for gym and fitness centers. So what this looks like is, let's say I'm in the area within 5 to 10 miles of this address, and I'm on my mobile device phone and I'm searching gym near me, or fitness near me, or cycling studio near me. That's showing intent for people that are at least in the market for what it is that you folks sell, right? So there's gym and fitness centers, there's cycling is also interesting. I think what else might be interesting here? Fitness centers, do we have anything in health and diet food might be interesting? What else might be interesting for people that are looking at tangentially? Anything for maybe youth organizations, so maybe getting their kids involved with karate. So let's just do that for now, and I'm going to click go. And again, what we have here is within a 5 to 10 mile ring, we have the number of searches over a 30-day window of people searching for health and diet food. So what this basically tells you, within a 5-mile ring over the last 30 days, 58,000 people searched on Google's properties for health and related diet foods or gym and fitness centers. So again, when you're lining this up side by side on site A versus site B versus site C, and let's say one location has 100,000 searches for gym and fitness centers, and site B has 25,000 searches, there's a 4x difference of demand on site one or site A versus site B. That's a very strong signal of site A has more demand for what it is that we sell. Okay, so now that we have a bunch of data sets here pulled that are specifically related to what you folks are looking at, You can then go ahead and generate a shareable report. Go ahead and click export this report. And now you have a PDF of this report specific to a URL that you can go ahead now and share this URL to a potential franchisee, franchisor, or a manager, what have you, or even to a broker saying, hey, we're looking at site A versus site B. Here's the data sets, and you can go ahead and now share this. So that's some interesting data I think that you can pull as it relates to you folks. Again, pulling in, of course, the residential population stuff, but I think there's so many more other data sets on here that are relevant and interesting for you folks. And hopefully that was helpful to help get you guys started. Thank you very much, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.